Wow, hello, everybody. These poxy fucking glasses are absolutely useless. Do you know what? Every summer I go through so many sunglasses, I really do. I have a habit of putting sunglasses in my back pocket and sitting on them and breaking them. I have a habit of putting sunglasses somewhere and standing on them, and then I end up having to pick up so many cheap pairs of sunglasses. I'm just giving people a chance to just come in. I'm just saying hello and talking about sunglasses right now because the sun has got his hat on. Hip 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 hooray. We got 2 days, guys. We got 2 days to pass over where we are allowed to celebrate, we are allowed to parade, we are allowed, I say allowed, we are allowed as peasants, we the peasant people, the working class, the lords have granted us ceremony, darling, to be able to structure performances and grand stages of being jesters and light entertainment, that the common people may be entertainment for the Houses of Lords over the next 2 days. So it's time to take to the streets, darling, in whatever creativity, any art awareness that you may want to bring to the red. I'm just fucking pissing around, guys, but basically the law states that for the next 2 days that the peasants may celebrate, we may kill lambs and eat lambs, and we may have time with our families from our slavery and our debauchery and being used by the people to basically be the industry's organ grinders to keep the pills going, keep the water going, keep the energy going, keep the roads going, keep the trains going. It's time to oops upside the head. I said oops upside the head. Come on, everybody, for the next 2 days. Now, obviously, people don't want to stand alone. People don't want to start things off alone. People don't want to feel alone during something. And one of the basic human needs of anybody, just hello as people are coming in. Please remember as you come in, I do have an absolute crazy mind at the moment. It's structuring and rewriting and kaleidoscoping and going through some form of craziness as I'm writing the sort of human spiritual manifesto bill of rights, what Americans would know as the Constitution. So basically I'm just sitting here thinking about each and individual person here in Great Britain. Unfortunately, I'm not big enough or wise enough or anything to understand anybody else's culture in any other country. So I would be an absolute hypocrite to say that I could go over to a native country and tell them how to have a house, a car, and all the material things that us Westerners love around here, and sunglasses. So yeah, these sunglasses are really shit. They don't shoot the shape of my head. They're an absolute nightmare, but they keep the sun at my eyes slightly. But I am actually inside. I'll take you outside. Shall we go outside? I'm actually not outside. I'm at my window of my 17th story block of flats. Here, it's Easter, Passover, and it's fucking dead. All the slaves are still out on a Good Friday. In fact, my son has started his first day of his apprenticeship today. Gone to work on a Good Friday. Can I just have a little bit of a beef right now? I want to have a little bit of beef, and I want to know how many other places right now the churches are closed on a bank holiday for food bank. So if any person, as you know, I've been doing a little bit of study on these food banks, and my kids are very well looked after, guys. I might be broken skint, but you know, we are looked after. As you know, I'm just testing from the inside. But you know, if you have a food bank voucher on a Good Friday, because collections for food banks genuinely are Monday, Wednesday, Friday. If you are a person with a food bank voucher right now who is really struggling, then I would say that what I'm thinking of doing is seeing how many people want to go and meet down at Hyde Park over Easter. So literally tomorrow more than anything. I do actually have family arrangements for Sunday. My son's here, and Dean is meant to be here with us as a family, but it's sort of here as the boys, and me and him talk, and Liam and him don't get on because he doesn't like Liam and all this sort of stuff. So my son's going to my dad's with my mum and everybody next weekend. I'm of course not invited, never am or never am. In fact, I haven't been invited to a family function for, I don't know, maybe if there's a funeral and I just turn up maybe. In fact, since I was 11, everybody used to come to my birthday party, cousins, everybody, family members. What you want to watch, darling? Pippin. And that's sort of how I grew up, really. I grew up that when it was Easter, that basically Dad would probably finish work early on a Good Friday. He'd go down to the club. I'd get abused by my uncle. And that's how it worked. And my dad didn't know. That's his cotton socks. Saturday, we'd all pack up and go down to the families. Pippin. Does anyone remember Pippin the dog, actually? Elijah loves Pippin the dog. Pippin the dog. In fact, I used to babysat with Bergerac. So the woman from Bergerac used to live right behind me. Can't remember her name and stuff, nothing conversation. Anyway, I'm just dealing with Elijah. So yeah, I'm literally thinking about going up to Hyde Park tomorrow. There's a couple of people that I need to go and meet. My Twitter account is all ready, guys. What do you want? That's it, go, Pippin. As you know, I'm a mother of 2 boys at home with me right now. Well, actually 3 boys home with me, but I'm a mother of 6. I'm actually a mother of 7. And for those who don't know me, what labels can we put on me? Danielle, what would you say I was? Well, first label is I would be considered... Oh, what's the matter? Right, what do you want on? Let me just settle here in a minute. I'm still here. Just let people come in. Amber's sharing out my live because there's something I really want to... Quite important to talk to everybody about. A couple of things that have happened that have been very considerable law changes that are really good for us, so just want to bring people in quickly. Right, what do you want to watch? Anyone got any really good educational stuff for 2-year-olds to watch on bloody YouTube? In fact, while we are here, one of the things that will be reformed is the education system, because one of the things they're talking about now is completely removing SATs, because they want to do assessments on 2-year-olds now, right? And Elijah actually did one of these assessments for them, right? They don't actually assess for what they're good at, they assess for what they're bad at, and that's it. So Elijah just passed, and that was it. But what it didn't do was assess his capabilities and what he'll do. So... In fact, Elijah, just as a prime example, I know you're not performing monkey and all of this, but can you do us a favour? How do you spell Elijah? E-L-I-P-P-I. No, that's not Elijah, that's Blippi. But how do you spell Elijah? E-L-I. No? Yes, no? Elijah Samuel?
Samuel?
Yeah?
E-L-I-P-P-I.
Oh, we've got a bit of a mix of Blippi and Elijah going on here, but he does actually spell his name. And he's only 2. Knows his alphabet, knows numbers. This is irrelevant to what I was coming on here to talk, but is also poignant to what's going on right now. So what's going on right now is the Extinction Rebellion of basically taking the streets of London. It's not about just taking the streets of London. It's about putting every single council and government person into position because of a number of bills that were passed in government over the last sort of few years, and because it's been so chaotic in government, and you know they've just been like a bunch of whiny school kids that don't really know what they're doing. And what you've got to remember is we're all watching the Houses of Commons because we are the common people, but there is another world going on, and that is the Houses of Lords. So the people that are kicking off is the Houses of Lords kids, right? So now things have changed. Now there are fathers with big bank balances that are quite happy for their kids to be arrested. They've got the solicitors ready, and literally, you know, the negotiation is very simple because they know they're at checkmate. Because what you've got to remember is each MP is only paid 60 grand a year. Each business person is paid as much as they want to be. Most of us business people are 6 figures number people. That's more than an MP straight away, right? It's actually us, the business people, that are teaching people like those that go to jobs for 60 grand a year, and those that go to jobs for 32 grand a year, and those that go to jobs for 16 grand a year, 19 grand a year, whatever. Me sitting on universal credits, you know, sitting on £1,200 completely and utterly fucking tax-free. I'm probably going to get completely ruled now. But basically that is the line. So us, the mere slave mortals, basically have a minimum wage that we get up every day to go to work, and MPs was 60 grand a year. Now, since the Industrial Revolution has completely collapsed and people like ants don't like go into these little workforces and go to work. Elijah, are you all right while I just go in the kitchen for a minute? Are you okay watching this?
Aeroplane.
Yeah, is this good? Do you want to watch the aeroplane? Pippin, can I get up now? Kiss, kiss.
No.
I'm going to go and get some white for a bit. Yeah, kiss, kiss. Working mum and all that. Right, so anyway, basically the Industrial Revolution collapsed. No, he's not going to let me go. My kids are really clingy to me because they're with me every day. What do you want to watch?
Aeroplane.
You want to watch aeroplanes? Right, so basically you're going to have to go over to climate change and have a look at the stuff. And basically all the science was presented to government a very, 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 very long time ago about how dumping was done, how the roads were working. And in 1994, Reclaim the Streets took the streets. Now, if you actually look at the video, that's my fella as a kid, isn't he? So sweet. So when you actually see Reclaim the Streets and you see the young lad that's basically out there with Reclaim the Streets, that was Dean. He was a kid running away from foster care. He's been graphing the frickin' streets ever since and pretty much being on the underground most of his life. So he was pretty much picked up by Spiral Tribe and then went and settled down, had a family, became a nomad to a normal person for a bit and then came back out on the streets. Everyone calls him homeless, it's really funny, but he's like a underground warrior, really, DJ MC. So yeah, Reclaim the Streets basically set a warning back in 1994 to say that the amount of trees, the amount of cars on the road. I'm sorry, I'm trying to multitask. I know I'm a woman and I know I should be capable of doing this, but my brain capacity is talking to you right now. Lucky I'm not a man, really, isn't it? Because I wouldn't be able to do this. Us women are amazing. It's time we actually all became really amazing and realised that our brain capacity is much more than just one cellular 2-3 dimensions. There's 11 dimensions in this universe, and it's about time that we realise that. If you look at all your Shrekners, each of them was basically the prophets. So if you actually accepted that all the prophets came for all of us and not just individual colours and skin, but anyway, another kind of conversation, another story. Right, what are you watching? What would you like to watch? What would you like to learn?
What? Cars.
You want to do typical boy. Okay. I'm not saying that girls don't like cars. I know plenty of girls who like cars. Right, there's one that's live. You've got to watch these live ones, by the way, with kids, by the way, because there's some crazy nutters out there. No, that's a no. There's some crazy nutters out there, because there is actually a YouTube Kids channel, by the way. But there's some crazy nutters out there that, like, re-edit these children's ones and put them out that are a bit crude. I've caught a couple of them. So basically just report them and get them shut down. Right, I'm going to come and have a look to see who's here. I've seen that my Aunt Melody's here, so while I'm waffling and my Aunt Alison, happy Easter, guys. Hope you're all having a lovely Easter. Green colour cars. Do you want this tractor? He's into all these shopping things at the moment, all these sale things where parents basically make money having toys sent to them, and then they do YouTube videos about the toy and they play with the toy and then they put it back in the box and say what they think, like reviews and things, and he thinks they're amazing. I got told off for doing stuff like this because apparently that's not a real job, but I'd have been a multi-fucking millionaire if it wasn't for idiots who have such a one-track mind of going to work for a pay bill and not understanding that actually we need multiple sources of income. Nobody can thrive on one income. You need multiple sources of income simply, and that's basically why the MPs have more money than just 60 grand a year, because that's basically what they learn from business people. So anyway, what I was basically saying is it's the Houses of Lords kids that are taken to the streets, right? So basically, when it comes to the police, they're backed up because they have money and they've got the police in the pocket. So it's opened the doors for all us other campaigners. And I say campaigners, I'm not campaigning, I'm just pissed off, angry mum who's had her kids taken unlawfully. My family won't listen to me or support me. My friends and family really don't know what to do. One of them actually went off to the EU, you know, like took it all the way to the EU, but she didn't end up taking it to the EU as one individual case. She took it to the EU as a mass problem, and then didn't associate with me, even though she uses my video that she interviewed in Australia to talk about me, but she doesn't actually associate with me as a friend. And because my friends mix from people on the streets, and I will call them my friends. I will call Alan out there my friend. In fact, if nobody else wants to share Easter with me this year, then I'm quite happy to go and see where Alan is, and whether or not I cook the dear lamb that's in the fridge right now, that I'm feeling very guilty about his leg being completely snapped off and his head being thrashed, and serving him on my plate, and my conscience is wondering whether or not I should have an issue with this right now, being that, you know, I battle for, you know, humanitarian rights so much for people, because it's such a prolific time here in Great Britain right now, because while the left and the right and everybody is doing everything, there's this thing called the British people that are still going to work to plug this society. And actually, we don't actually have any MPs right now, because they don't get reseated until the 5th of May, but they keep you veiled from this, because otherwise you would not realise that if a policeman arrests you, that they don't actually work for anybody, because unless we the people put these people in position, then we don't seat under a government. It's us that chooses to do this. And at any time we can choose not to do this, but if we don't vote, then they continue to play their little game, and we continue to ignore them and occasionally protest and go, wait, we disagree with you. But what is happening right now, right here, right now, is people really have had enough. And it's got to the point now that, like, people really aren't listening. That look, I will show you something, right? Right now, my outside, my home, is absolutely beautiful. It's so calm. People are walking around at really lovely paces. The energy is really sweet. People are chilling out. They're sitting in the garden. Children are playing. And that's my world. On Crackbook, however, my real world is very different, because my Crackbook world is basically my office and my campaigning, and you will see different things that are going on. But I could easily right now go and sit down here in my garden and live a very peaceful existence, and not really give a shit about the mum who 2 days ago had a baby taken. That it doesn't really affect me. It does, because it really hurts my stomach and it hurts my soul, because I know what she's going through, and I wouldn't want anybody in this world to understand the pain of losing. It's not even the word losing. I didn't lose my children. I didn't walk off down the road and all of a sudden I turned around and my child had just disappeared, and you know, it has wandered off, and the police have been out, and the press have been out, and my whole community have been out, and everybody has been out looking for this roaming 2 and 3 year old little girl and boy. And there's missing posters up all around the world, and I've got children missing. And then all of a sudden the police are starting to suspect that maybe somebody actually took the child, so it's being considered a potential kidnapping, because somebody has enticed a child and taken a child against the parents' wills, which makes it a kidnapping. And that means that my child has been kidnapped. So not only have I feeling that I've lost my child, I have had my child kidnapped, because the police are telling me that it's now considered a kidnap because it's been over so many hours and nobody seems to know. And they've trolled the rivers and they've trolled the streets, and it's even gone international for people checking airports for this missing 3 and 2 year old child. And I'm still stood here wondering where the 2 children have gone. You know, and it's not like it's difficult to ignore that some people don't feel like they're affected about what's currently going on, but all of a sudden we the human beings are going to get the most biggest oops upside your head you've ever met. And do you know what? I could get on a plane right now, right, from my peaceful, nice existence from here, and I could go over to somewhere like Fiji, and all of a sudden I could be laying in my hammock and I could be enjoying the rays of sunshine and beautifulness, and all of a sudden this fucking wave comes crashing over my fucking head and upsides the head and sweeps out the whole of freaking Fiji. Do you know what I mean? Because it's become a material development for things and stuff. And I talk from a lot of research and a lot of knowledge, and having a lot of really great people around me. I know my family's never been in my life, so they don't really know where I go, who I speak to, what I do. They don't know who I have lunch with. They don't know what university I even went to, what meetings I've connected to, what conversations I've had. And actually, some of the greatest professors are on the streets. If you go to Hyde Park in London, you know, one of the most amazing mathematicians in quantum physics actually lives out on Hyde Park, and has done for many, many years, because he just can't cope with being encased. But, you know, the university come out and talk to him and stuff, and he still is a professor of a university, but he lives on the streets as a homeless man. It's people's opinions that create the worlds around them, really. So basically, going on in London right now, I'm just going to take a bit of my brew. And one of the reasons that I've come on is because, one, it's Good Friday, so I wanted to just wish everybody an amazing Good Friday. Two, I'm sort of coming out of I'm starting to get dressed properly. I'm not just in training gear all the time. I'm starting to think about maybe I might have to brush my hair one day. I don't even own a hairdryer. My son's going to become a hairdresser, so I'm going to have to probably have crazy hairstyles for a while he's finding his way. Some bad cuts, some good cuts, some crazy colours. I have grey hair, natural. So one of my beefs is I'm really annoyed with the churches. It's Good Friday, and you've closed the food banks on a Good Friday for all of the people out there that are genuinely, I say struggling. It's not really about struggling, is it? It's about not having the tools to make money. If you don't have the tools to make money, it's like they used to say to the really poor people, "Hello there, Dave." Oh, right, brilliant. Dave's in the house. Right, so Dave, what's everybody got to do right now? That'd be really handy. I know full well I've got to go over to that court. I've got to present. So this is my after Easter thing. So it was all the houses and trying to make some money, and I ended up just, it's all going to some mum that needs it at the moment. So Dave, are you ready? Dave, seriously? Come on, help me out, man. We have files and files and files and files and files and around the back. But right there, Dave, look what we've got. We have a very 16th, 14th century Bible sat there. So I've managed to find some of the sentences I've been looking for. So anyway, get a sovereign decree and free up your doodahs. Right, so anyway, I do believe 100%. I've got a couple of babies that have been taken. I don't believe in all this birth certificate stuff per se. But I do believe that we have a natural bloodline, be the blood of Christ. Right, well, there you go then. So, everything is telling me to go to London this weekend. Everything's pulling me to just meet everybody up at Hyde Park. Everything is telling me that right now we need a gathering of people. Money is getting in my way, and the greatest fear right now is I don't want an oops upside the head for making a mistake that costs me my children, and I don't want to put myself in a vulnerable situation where I have got police arresting me and I'm being left like I was with David Cameron's. In fact, to all you freaking dads out there who deserted me and left me at David Cameron's election night, only one dad stayed at the police station and slept outside the police station and waited for me in the morning to take me back to my car. So if I have people standing side by side with me that are going to do that to me, then I won't stand side by side with you, with my family. It's as simple as that. I need to know that if I go to Hyde Park and I'm going to meet up with some really good, like-minded people who want to sit that back and, you can't fight what you can't see. Well, I'm in a situation right now where I have information that we can't talk about on Crackbook right now. It's uncovered stuff within the adoption community that has uncovered quite a gang warfare, people who have been offshoring and trafficking children for a very, very long time. And I'm now in a bit of a vulnerable situation, really, because I'm not a police officer, and I'm not an MI5 agent, guys, I promise you. I know I used to love spooks at one time, and in fact I even got everybody on holiday once when the first series of Spooks was on to come back and watch it, and it just all went flatlined. But I do believe that what's happened with these adoption agencies is a load of adoption agencies have been pulled off the dark net, and this dark net basically are aware of who I am and what I'm doing and what I've infiltrated, and they're not happy with me. And I've had a very stern warning that I would have to be very lucky that if I don't turn around to a bullet to my head. Obviously the police don't care here. I can't put my children at risk, because even having such a threat or warning like that risks and puts my children at risk. Anything that I do puts my children at risk. So Amber, I've got to raise 800 quid to get Amber over. So Amber, as you know, who's my admin, lives in Trinidad. So I need to get her over here. And not only is she childcare provider, she's got all of her stuff. She is also a commando trained girl. And I know full well that if anyone come through my door to take my kids, touch my kids, she would take a bullet to her head. And they're the people that I need around me right now. People that in what's going on right now, defences and armies are being formed. In fact, if you go on LinkedIn, they're actually hiring security. If you go on LinkedIn, government are currently hiring. So they basically put jobs out for their internship, like guards and security and things like that. That goes to show, look, we're dealing with just a bunch of numpties that formed some society that we, the ignorant people, for the last 400 years have lived by because of gun warnings to our heads, threats of being thrown in the towers. Where do you think these people from operation, not operation, in fact I shouldn't say much about many operations right now, should I? From, hello to all the 23s out there. But yeah, so basically, let me just say something, right? So basically, Henry VIII had very many wives. He liked to chop and change, try again now. He got to the point where the people started to say that you can't really behead your wives every time you want to go and shag somebody else. I need to be careful with my language right now. So we, the English people, the Westerners, basically live under Henry VIII's rules, right? Because Henry VIII couldn't basically go, oops, upside the head. Oh, she's pretty, honey. Oh, I want to go and bed her now, but I can't because I'm married to her. So basically, he changed the law. And the church that existed in that time, there was way many before then and before then and before then, because basically every 4 years these people have a revote and they reshuffle and they have a reparty, and us ants get up and we go and pay our bills and they do what they do and stuff like that. But basically Henry VIII, who had very many wives, decided to vacate from the Catholic Church, who basically have been an orgy party for goodness knows how many years, little children and all that stuff. Hence why these priests don't know any different, because they were raised and born to be sacrificial lambs. So why would sacrificial lambs who can't get married, have sex or masturbate, not grow up to want to bend boys over and, you know, get their socks cocked? You know, that would just be completely natural for them to do that. Just because we don't understand that or get our heads around, you know, what we know to be abuse and they can't accept that. We, the people, know the difference. They have grown up in this institution and this colony that that that's how it is, and it's about time that we go in and say no more. Just like the Australians had to. Then they had to go in and take the kids from some of these cultures, because children were being impregnatized at young ages. Just like chickens are. Sorry, cows. Us human beings. I don't do it. I'm not a dairy farmer, but us human beings actually take a 12-month-old cow. Just because it's a cow, it's still a baby. And it's still just come out of the mum's womb, and it's still been created within that mum, and there's still the same maternal urges and things, whether we the human beings can feel any other human beings, let alone feel the empathy of a cow, but it's still the same thing. But so basically we can go up to this cow, and this 12 months, so no different than my two boys right now. So if I had girls, no different. Just because it's a calf doesn't make it non-human. And basically we can take this little calf, baby, yeah, it's a baby. Remember, it's a calf. Just because it's a calf, yeah, just because it's a calf and it's got 4 legs, not 2. We've got, hands and legs. Not much difference if I bend down. Same as a lamb, not going to bend over, animal things and all of that sort of stuff. But basically, these humans get their fucking fist, stick it right up this little baby's arse, wank it off, and basically get it to ejaculate all of its sperm, and then they stick this sperm into this other little baby, because they don't keep many of these little calves, by the way, because most of the boys, they're beheaded and thrown, just like, what's his name did back in the times of Jesus, when they took all the 2-year-old kids and they slashed their throats and hung them up and just got rid of them. And do you know what's really funny? Is you are not throwing up right now. How can your stomachs listen to what I am telling you without... I'm shaking, seriously, here. My stomach, I am absolutely fuming, but I am a master of my emotions. But I'm not, I'm fuming, which is why I'm asking you people to come together to have some form of common sense and reason. I'm not talking about common purpose or anything. I'm just saying, have some fucking compassion and realise that this ain't climate change, mate. Yeah, we've got climate change. The climate is changing. But this ain't no freaking us, the people, doing damage to the earth. We're choking it a bit. Few fumes are coming up. But we, the human beings, are so insignificant to this planet, we couldn't do any damage. If I go over and pull that grass, it's going to grow back. If I go and take, I can kill, I can kill a fucking plant, mate, and it will grow back. I could throw that out the window and it will root down in that grass and it will blow and bloom. It's not thinking about money to thrive. It's not thinking about people meeting its needs. It just relies on the creation it was given and the Mother Earth it was blessed with, and knows that all their needs are met. We're not damaging this planet. We are pissing the planet off, and there's nothing wrong with the world. There really isn't. It's beautiful. The sun is shining today. But what I want to know is, on Bank Holiday Monday, are we getting an oops upside the head with thunder and lightning, or is it going to be a beautiful day? I would love to think that it's going to be a beautiful day and we, the people, can go off and have a lovely summer. Because if we don't, Mother Earth is going to be making sure that this summer, mate, that we are going to be sitting in our homes, most people probably smoking weed, taking drugs, maybe drinking, battering the missus maybe battering the ex, so, we've got a chance, because every time they give us, sorry, just 2 seconds, what are you watching, want to watch?
No.
Just, while I just do this, just take a moment, just 2 seconds, just take a moment and just ask, what hot coals are you holding right now? What burdens? And is it really worth it to be so angry at somebody because they don't have the toilet seat up, or so angry at somebody because they might have lost your DVD player, or so angry at somebody because they might have actually have crashed into your car, or carrying a burden because somebody actually that you really didn't even love went and shagged your brother that actually married, and actually maybe if you hadn't have been such a cunt and just gone and slept with anybody, she would have met your brother in the first place and lived off happily ever after. So, we carry these burdens around with us all the time. We carry these pains. Even I've been raped. I have been pinned down by 6, lads and raped. I have had my innocence taken since the age of maybe 3, 4, 5, I'm not quite sure. I didn't get the opportunity to give my life away to my husband and have a normal life because of stuff that's happened to me. But if I'm angry, if I'm resentful, if I carry these burdens, if I hate the people who've done stuff to me, then I'm not going to go out there and enjoy and be around people, and I'm going to have social anxieties, and I'm going to be fearful of people, and I'm going to not want to help people because I'm going to worry what they may or may not do to me, and I'm going to live in a very caged life and existence world where everybody is the problem but me. Yeah? And that's how this narcissistic personality develops in the first place, okay? So, you know, so it's okay to fall in love with yourself. It's okay to love yourself. It's okay to forgive yourself. It's you that's chosen to carry the burdens. When I got raped by 6 guys, I made the decision that they might have got my body, but they'll never get my soul. What I did is I gave up my body. I said, you might have actually have pinned me down. You might have actually have done what you did to me, but you will never take my connection from God, my source. You will never take my soul. And for as long as we have a soul, we have compassion. And if we haven't got compassion, then you're not connected to source. And if you're not connected to source, then I don't know what the fuck you're dabbling in right now. And it is causing major problems that are going to cause earthquakes and devastation in this planet right now to good people. There's nothing wrong with being a good person, but you've got to accept that we are polarity. We are, I don't want to get into all this duality. Look, people keep talking about these pagans and these witches and... Am I Christian or am I pagan? What do you think? Because I look a bit Indian right now, and if I take my glasses off, you know, hello there, people. Am I old, young? What am I? I am whatever you choose to stick me in a box as. I'm a finite entity being suffering. Unfortunately, I didn't get to be born through the birth canal. I was born through a cesarean section. So, you know, I have some traumas and troubles that other people don't necessarily have. And I have the cord wrapped around my neck as well. Right, I just need to settle my son because I'm going to come off live and I'm going to come and talk to some people. I just want to say, absolute hats off to everybody who's out there, because there's been parents out here that would love to take the streets in exactly the same way right now. But we don't have the people, we don't have the manpower. We have a lot of people watching us. We have a lot of people sympathising with us, but we don't have enough people empathising with us. And the shit is, we don't want you to ever have to empathise with us. We don't ever want you to be in a situation where somebody takes your children from you and you don't know what the fuck to do, because you can't kill them, you can't fight back, you can't go and rob them, you can't go and take children back. You'll just face arrest, and you actually can't speak out. Because even if you speak out, you're facing prison, sectioning. Since my children have been taken, I have been arrested. Hang on, I've been arrested 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 sectioning. Okay? So, and obviously, you know, when I first started, I'd get locked out of Facebook, things like that. I've had my car taken twice. In fact, I've had my car taken 5 times. So I've had 5 cars taken off me now. I have 150 parking tickets still. I only owe about 300 to council tax. And for as long as you don't do these things, and with the April tax year, then they can come along in Herod's days. We're still in Herod's days. Remember this, people. We're still in Herod's days. Jesus did not fulfill what he came. That the Roman Empire didn't necessarily come down. In Cleopatra's days it did it, but in Herod's days it didn't. Yeah, it didn't. You thought it was 6? What, 6 children? I had 7. They terminated my first child. Right, what are you wanting to watch? I'm trying. What do you want to watch? I really don't like my son's watching this, but he's usually asleep. What do you want to watch, darling? Say what you want. If anyone wants to bring some stuff, I'll have a little read in a minute. I'm just saying, I'm thinking of getting, just basically, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, open your doors, meet up with people. street kitchens, whatever you can do. Your choice if you want to kill little lambs. I'm not here to preach whether you want to cut a lamb's throat and serve it for dinner, or you know, you want to allow for baby calves to be raped, so you can have some milk. Which, do you know what milk is basically? Milk is basically, you know, when you squeeze your spot and all that pus comes out, that's what milk is. Because milk comes from our breasts, so basically it's blood. So basically all of this in here is the blood that goes to my child. So my breast milk is filtered for my children. It's not filtered for your children. It's not filtered for your breakfast table. It's filtered for my children. And it's exactly the same as a cow. It's filtered for the babies that cow has. It's not filtered for the other calves, and it's not filtered for human consumption. In fact, our bodies can't deal with that whatsoever. If you want breast milk, then go and suck your mum's breast. Simple as that. And up till 8. So basically the teeth here at the back here were basically designed up until the ages of 8. It's the human beings that created convenient foods, but nature created for babies to basically feed off their mothers until they were 8, and then they would graze on the earth, natural pulses and things like that. And yes, they would kill it, but they never killed the animals. It was, if it was dead, it was the hunter-gatherers that started going out and doing all that sort of stuff. So oh, what, my arrests? No, don't forget, I was assaulted when I was 7 months pregnant with Elijah, and they took Elijah off me back last year, the year before. And then when I was on the track, don't forget, during my court time as well. So even when I turned up for my, when I went to vacate the orders, there was 3 police officers and security there. And when I was at Save the Family, I had the police at the door literally every 4 or 5. Well, in fact, on one day, I think I had them twice in one day. Yeah, I had an argument on the phone with my mum. She was telling me that my kids were adopted, and I was telling her, no, they're not. And then next thing, I got 6 police at the door saying I was beating Liam. That's how it was. When my anonymous masks arrived at the front desk of Save the Family, yeah, there was a whole riot van that arrived for me. And don't forget, I've done anonymous and stuff like that. They tend to pull me over and then that's it. So I've been pulled over in a car. I've had the car pulled quite a few times. In fact, every time I used to turn up in London, I used to get pulled over and served and searched. Those used to hit London. So if I ever pulled up, like coming back around where the Parliament was, I used to park up around where Hyde Park is, and I would have special force. Don't forget, when we was on Downing Street, I would, in fact, it was quite funny. We were on Downing Street and they brought a special branch over, and they said, by whose authority? So this is what annoys me. We've paved the way for you to do stuff that you're able to do. You're free to do. We're letting you know you are free to go on the streets and put your banners up and spin the world. My Twitter now has got, so basically my Facebook goes straight to my Twitter. So while I'm live to you here right now on Crackbook, it's going over to Twitter. So then I've got my LinkedIn, I've got my website, I've got my Instagram, which I don't think is going right now because Amber's not managing to do everything. And then got some other stuff. And then what we've done, and I'm asking you all to do, is go on your Twitter. You can basically go onto my friends list on Twitter and just go follow. And there's every MP that's going for election all in there. So when you send out a tweet, it will go boom, especially if you want to add them in within the tweets. So basically, don't forget, I've majored in social media marketing. I'm an affiliate master, and all this sort of stuff. So the power of social media is magical right now. It's bloody pissing me off not being out on the streets. Really annoying me not being out on the streets. Elijah's even got his where is it? Where's your safety vest, dude? Where's your safety vest? He calls it his safety vest. So Elijah's even got his safety vest. It's just that, obviously, Dad tells me that if I lose these kids, get myself arrested, he'll kill me. And he's quite adamant about that. So, yeah. Good times rolling. So, basically, I don't know what I've rambled about. I'm really glad that Dave's been here. I'm going to keep now bringing the schedule. But what I come on here to say is it's time to pass over. So basically, who are you now and who do you want to be in the next 2 days? And that's what I come on to talk to you about. I've just sort of rambled trying to settle my son and get some space, because obviously I'm a mum. So, hello, my name is Kelly. I was named Kelly because my dad had a major crush on Kelly from Charlie's Angels and Kelly from Kelly LeBrook, the woman in the red dress. That's why I was named Kelly. Apparently it means warrior maiden, but I was named Kelly with a Y, not Kelly with an IE, and my mum changed that when I was 13. And Kelly is a artist, a dancer, a graph artist, I would love to say I was a pianist, but I've got to actually sit down on a piano and play a piano and see what comes out before I ever say, oh, I was a pianist, and maybe take some lessons. I can drive a car. I love clothes, but don't ever have the funds to be able to wear the things that I want and like. And whenever I go shopping, I don't particularly like stuff, and I'm a mum, so try going shopping with 2 kids is an absolute nightmare. And no man ever comes home and says, hey darling, try this on. No, not even try this on. Hey darling, put this on, we're going out. And to any man out there who has ever brought a woman a dress and she's actually put it on that night and walked out that door and it's fitted, wow man, you is good. Every time the motorbikes come in, hats off to Daniel, to every man out there who's feeling depressed, suicidal. Don't forget, as people know, my cousin committed suicide last year, like the year before. Just as his father did, his father hung himself. And I've actually lost many friends. So every time I hear a motorbike, I'll give time to my cousin Daniel and to every person out there who's feeling suicidal, and I take them into my heart, and I battle with suicide myself, as many people do or don't know, hence why I go on roller coasters, because some days I feel like I can do this and some days I feel like I'm on my own, and I deal with loneliness and isolation and rejection issues, being that I was a baby that was taken from my mum. So therefore my bond was broken with my mum, and then I have been literally passed from pillar to post to nan and granddad, just like every other child that goes through special guardianship and long-term foster care, and all these children that are taken off the breast. And it doesn't matter whether these children that are being taken are human beings. It doesn't matter whether they are white human beings. It doesn't matter whether they are black human beings. It doesn't matter whether they are from the Asian companies, yeah. It doesn't matter whether they are from the Emirate companies. It doesn't matter whether they are from the British corporate companies. It doesn't matter whether they are from the Indonesia companies. All these countries are all companies. But we are human beings, and babies are being taken off of the breast and removed from the mother's womb, whether they are taken immediately at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they are being taken. Yes, there are incompetent parents out there. Yes, there are some parents out there that are going through some adversity. And yes, there are some parents who, when their children scream like that, they want to bloody kill the kids. And yes, there are parents that feel that way, and it's okay to feel that way. So anyway, I got my kids taken for saying that. Right, what's going on, dude? And really, I got my kids taken for saying that I would end up smashing the Xbox or killing the kids. And that is why my kids were taken. Because I said that if my son left his COD game out again, I would end up smashing the Xbox or killing the kids. And that is why my children were taken for forced bloody adoption. Right, what do you want to watch quickly? This one is going for Blippi. Can you spell Blippi?
B-L-I-P-P-I.
Well done. There you go. 2-year-old spelling Blippi. And why do we use the word spelling? So anyway, on this note, I'm going to go and have a coffee. I'm asking you all to express yourselves. So darling, 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 are you a performing artist? Can you get a spray can? Could you turn this bottle into a rocket? Can you sing? Can you dance? Can you turn into a puppet? Can you being a performing clown? He's already spelt his name. He says he's not a performing monkey. Can you paint? Can you charcoal? Can you do stuff? And basically over Easter, just, you don't have to take it to the streets. Just create in your own home. Create, you know, who you are, because it's better to be sitting around the table with your family in your true identity, being yourself, than sitting around the table wearing a mask because of worrying about what this person says or what this person thinks, or whether your mother will approve or your father will understand, your sister this, your auntie that, and worrying whether or not everybody's going to get really drunk and crying over child abuse. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's really my message for you today. That, you know, as we go over Passover, we've got these next 2 days. I have taken my 40 days. I made a vow of celibacy. And I've just taken a 40-day vow of celibacy, even though I am in a relationship. I'm not married, but I have 2 children, and I chose to take a vow of celibacy over my 40-day Passovers. And I have 2 days, and then after that, my partner has been told if he doesn't marry me, there is no oops upside the head. And if he does, then he has whatever the subordinate wife. And if he doesn't, then I will remain celibate until I am. And that is my journey. It wasn't one that I put all over Crackbook. It was my own personal battle experience. So in order to be able to deal with this matter, the very hot, hunky man hasn't been here for 40 days. And even when we did cross paths, we had to make sure that we were nowhere where we could invade this 40 days of mine. So anyway, yes, living in sin as a unmarried woman is against everything that I believe and feel and understand. So yes, that was my 40 days of Lent. So now I'm going into these next 2 days and stepping into the woman that I am meant to be. But I will either be stepping in as a single woman or as a married woman. And if I'm a single woman, then yeah, who supports the kids? So it's me. No, I've got a really good dad. My kid's got an amazing dad, to be honest. He's not exactly wealthy. He's doing his best at the moment. If he's not here, then he's sleeping on the streets or wherever he can. He can't afford hotels and travelling, doesn't have a van. And, you know, he will never let his kids go without shoes, coats, nothing. If I need it, he will make it happen. So he will never, ever, ever let these boys go without nothing. And he's quite happy to put cash in my hand for me to go and do what I want, even look after myself if need be. So I don't really have to worry about that. But yes, he isn't in a situation to put roofs overhead by cars. He will be. His album will do really well. In fact, his album will do amazing, to be honest. I just hope he's got the right people around him. So anyway, Shiloh is now up and laying on the floor being rather cute and wanting cuddles. And I'm going to get the kids dressed and get out for Good Friday. So if there's anybody in Portsmouth that wants to do anything, my son is at work. He has his first day and he's apprenticed at one of the top salons here. Oh, I don't know what you class as top. Does it mean they just charge the most or win the most awards? Who knows? But he's got a great community ahead of him. They do a lot of social events, and he should do really well here. And hopefully I'll find a private rental. And I really do need to have a garden. I'm very housebound. My body doesn't do very well at the moment. But who knows? Over Passover, I'm going to do a lot of forgiving. I'm going to do a lot of forgiving for every man I have ever slept with. This is my personal battle. And as you know, one of the things they said in court is that I didn't have any sexual boundaries. And I wouldn't be able to protect my daughter from sexual abuse. And the other mum who's had her kid taken the other day, they have basically said that it's her choice of partners for why she can't have her child back. And most of us mums are losing our kids because they're basically saying that single mums, it's the choice of their partners. It's difficult when you're a single mum. How many men actually take on other people's kids? It's actually natural not to. I have an amazing ex-stepfather who has done, but it doesn't work out. It's not the same. It never is and never will be. And it doesn't matter how many step parents out there think that it's not the same. It never will be. That love is not the same. And I know because I'm also somebody who has many step parents, and have spoken and met with many people. So basically, have fun, enjoy your family. If you don't speak to your family, give them a call, tell them how much you love them, tell them how grateful you are for them, what you do love about them, tell them what you think they may should change in themselves, and maybe you can become affiliate partners together to help them, be able to make those changes, because sometimes people just need someone to listen to, somebody to hear them, somebody to just understand. I may end up in London, I may end up outside here, who knows. I may just sit in and do nothing. I may just chat to you guys online. Dean may be here Sunday. I do have a lamb in the fridge. I'm feeling really guilty about this lamb in the fridge right now. I'm trying to decide what I feel about this lamb. And before I go, I'm going to get this lamb out of the fridge. Seriously. It rolled back, by the way. This little stump is from that part of a human's leg. So basically, I'm eating flesh. That is basically that. There. That should be illegal. Like, seriously, if I went and ate your leg and put your leg on my table tomorrow, I'd be a cannibal or whatever it's called. But it's okay to do it to another species. But I don't know. I'm sort of looking forward to it, but I'm also sort of not. I'm sort of feeling guilty about it, but I'm also challenging this consciousness that is going on over this baby lamb that I didn't slaughter it, but somebody slaughtered so I could actually cook it and eat it. Elijah, get off him, dude. Sweetheart. No, he's fine with that. There you go. Right, anyway, my kids are trying to rescue the, lammy lamb. Yeah, we're going to name the lamb. So anyway, slaughter to the lamb and all that. See you later.